United Nations. The UN Security Council on Friday adopted a watered-down resolution that called for an immediate acceleration of aid deliveries to starving and desperate civilians in Gaza, but did not include the original request for an immediate suspension of hostilities between Israel and Hamas. The U.S. abstention prevented a third American veto of the Gaza resolution following Hamas' surprise attacks on Israel on October 7. Russia wanted the restoration of a stronger language. The USA did not do this. He said this would send a signal to people in Gaza that the Security Council was working to alleviate their suffering. The decision resulted in a week and a half of high-level diplomacy by the United States, the UAE on behalf of Arab countries and others. Relieved U.S. Ambassador Linda Thomas-Greenfield told the Council it was tough, but we got there. The vote, he said, supports efforts to mitigate this humanitarian crisis, deliver life-saving aid to remove hostages from Gaza, protect innocent civilians and humanitarian workers, work for a lasting peace. It's hard to overstate how urgent this is, Thomas-Greenfield said. This resolution speaks to the seriousness of this crisis and calls on all of us to do more. The vote came just after the United States vetoed an amendment that would have reinstated Russia's call for an immediate suspension of hostilities. In this vote, 10 countries voted in favor. The USA voted against, and 4 abstained. Russia's UN ambassador Vasily Nebenzia called the resolution completely toothless, accused the US of shameful, cynical, irresponsible behavior resorting to tactics of heavy pressure, blackmail, gun twisting. He said decision would essentially give the Israeli armed forces complete freedom of action to clear Gaza Strip. He said Russia would have vetoed it if it had not been supported by many Arab countries. Palestinian UN envoy Ambassador Riyad Mansour emphasized that Palestinians and Arab nations support Russia's law change, and said that it took 75 days for the Security Council to finally say the word cessation of hostilities. This decision is a step in the right direction because of the important humanitarian provisions, Mansour said. This must be put into practice and must be accompanied by a massive push for an immediate ceasefire. Hamas called decision an inadequate step that does not meet needs of state of disaster caused by terrorist military machine in Gaza. In a statement on its website, militant group accused United States of defying international community and preventing Council from demanding an end to war. Israel's deputy ambassador to UN, Brett Jonathan Miller, criticized the Security Council for not condemning Hamas for attacks on October 7, in which nearly 1,200 people and 240 people were taken hostage. More generally, the resolution deplores attacks on civilian objects, as well as violence, hostility against civilians, acts of terrorism. It also demands the